welcome back, or welcome for the very first time to Worms and Warriors. We're back here with our tutorial series on Manor Lords. We're going to roll straight into episode 2 of this. If you missed the first one, I'm just going to give a quick overview of what we talked about. Like, literally, it'll be very brief. If you want to watch that video, then I'll put a link to that in the description, so go and check that out. But basically, in the first episode, we talked about setting up our logging and timber industry. We talked about the importance of the church. We talked about the importance of having these market stalls up, and we had a quick discussion about burgage plots and upgrading them to level 2, which is kind of where we are now. So we've got a bunch of level 2 burgage plots and a couple are still under construction. We've still got a few level 1, one or two here, which we will aim to upgrade in the future. It is winter, of course, it's December. And in this episode, we're going to primarily be talking about the different types of burgage plots. So we're going to go into a bit more information on each one, kind of into each one of the upgrades available to us from this menu here. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about artisans. We're going to talk about setting up industry. So it's not going to be a mega long video, but I hope it's going to be a bit helpful. If it is helpful, then do please hit that like button, hit subscribe for the channel. We're a small channel here, growing slowly, which is nice. I've been away for a while. I've been making a few new videos, and it's awesome to see some of you new guys come in here and subscribe and interact on the videos. I love that kind of thing. So, what is happening here? Granary, storehouse. So something else I didn't really touch on is that the market stalls are set up by the guys who work in your industry. So in the tannery, the tanner will go and set up a market shop and things like that. But the dudes who work in the granary and the storehouse also do this. I was just rudely interrupted by the postman there. Anyway, so your storage house and your granary, yes, those guys also set up market stalls when possible. So if you have a few guys working in here, you might have some dudes setting up a market stall or several different stalls. And that's really helpful. But you've got to keep an eye on your storage. So we're at 104 out of 250. I mean, we've still got quite a bit of space. It's not that expensive to upgrade it to a large storehouse. So for a large storehouse, we need 5 timber and 10 planks. We've got plenty of that at the moment. So again, if you look up here, construction supplies, we've got 33 timber and 20 planks available. We've got no stone though, so that's something to bear in mind. Back to touch on the logging camps and in your timber industry in general, it's worth noting that the only storage in game for logging camps, for logs, is at your logging camps. And they can only hold 28, so you might end up having to have a few logging camps simply for storage, if for nothing else, because like not having enough timber is definitely going to put a downer on your construction industry and your production industry of firewood, fuel for furnaces, like, you know, in the smithy and things like that. So you've got to keep an eye on your timber. It's very important. And just as we get started here, we received a new settlement upgrade point, so we're now on medium village because we've got 5 burgage plots or whatever it was, level 2 plots, sorry. So you might recall we upgraded this. We got forest management up, so it doubles the capacity of the berries, and I did that because I like to specialize in whatever's good on our map. So we've got a rich deposit of berries, which is why I did this. So then we're going to have lots and lots of berries for our food, basically. So we'll set up a couple of foragers here once we grow a bit, and we'll have lots of berries coming in. We also have rich iron deposits, so it might be worth looking at things like this basic armor making. So we're going to have plenty of metal, plenty of iron. So we could make helmets and things like that, you know, and you can sell them for an absolute fortune and equip our militia with those. So that is definitely handy. So we could think about that. We could do this, and if we then do trade logistics, it means we can open trade routes for less and import and export what we need. It's one of the ways I like to play this game. Another thing that's good to do if you're going to have a lot of farming is to have the heavy plough. Now, you might remember that we did not have very good farming fertility here, so that's not really an option for us. To check your farming fertility, you can just click on construction. The overlay will come up here. Let's see what water supply as well, underground. I think we talked about that in the first episode. And Emma fertility, so that's your growing crop. So again, we haven't really got much yet, and we've built on the yellow patch, which was the only real option available to us to build on for any kind of decent fertility. But we looked next door to us here, the fertility was excellent. So this is something we could be looking to take over if I was going to play this game, you know, long term, rather than just as a tutorial kind of thing. But for the moment, what I'm going to do, I am going to open up the basic armor making. I know we haven't got any iron yet, any metal, you know, things like that, but we will have soon. The Burgage plots are upgrading. Let's wait until this one's finished, and then let's have a little look at what's happening. Remember, with the level 2 Burgage plot, you start making some regional wealth, and regional wealth is what's going to kick in to help us improve everything, basically, to start with. So we still got this one here, still a level 1 plot, so let's upgrade that to a level 2. It's costing us 4 timber. Again, all these cost 4 timber to upgrade, so you might as well do it if it's available, if you've got the timber, but we don't have the timber for that one. Another useful thing to do is to upgrade the hitching post to a stable, which means we can then have 2 oxen, so let's do that. So I'm going to upgrade the stable. Again, oxen cost regional wealth to order, and they don't just spawn. Someone has to bring them from somewhere else, so they're not just there immediately. Let's pop a guy into the saw pit. We might as well make a few more planks while we can, and it's winter time, so you know we're having a bit fewer of our guys working in the food industry. But to be fair, there's not actually that many animals, so it's something we've got to keep an eye on, really. Just setting these Burgage plots away. I want them at level 2. Come spring, and once we start bringing in some more berries, we will probably fill this area up with more Burgage plots. So you can see our wealth has gone up here. We're up to 13, so we're getting a bit of money trickling in. It's not to be confused with this money over here, the treasury, which is like comes from taxes. This is something we'll talk about once we get a bit further into the game. So at the minute, most of our Burgage plots are empty. We've got these 2 here with chicken coops. Now, for chicken coops, they produce eggs. It doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to matter at all how big the plot is if you have a chicken coop. It doesn't. It produces the same number of eggs, as far as I can tell. Where it does matter, let's just slow it down a little bit. Where the size of the plot does matter is if you're going to plant crops. So, for example, this plot here, I mean, we can see it's not much available, but actually, well, we can't use that one. Let's look at this one. So, the land available to us here is just this. So, if we were going to say, I know we can't at the moment, but if we were planting the vegetable garden, you can only have this small bit. However, if you made one huge plot with a massive backyard for the working in, then that's going to be... It's going to produce way more vegetables. Same with the fruit, actually, the orchard. So, like, but we haven't got access to that at the moment. Okay, so I've let time whiz by a little bit here, and all our plots are now level 2 Burgage plots, which is nice to see. When we look at this, you can see that some of these are separated by a little gap. So the ones on the right, these 8 selections, bakery extension, which we can't have because we haven't unlocked that from the upgrades. A blacksmith shop, so that enables production of tools, spears, and sidearms, so for arming our militia or for selling. The brewery extension produces ale from malt. We haven't got that either. The tailor shop makes clothes, cloaks, or gambesons. Gambesons is like a padded jacket that you would wear for combat. A cobbler's workshop makes shoes, which is very, very handy for selling, so that's something we could possibly look at. The joiner's workshop makes wooden parts and shields, both large and small. The armourer's workshop, which we looked at earlier there, that makes helmets as well as mail and plate armour eventually. The Fletcher's workshop, that's going to make warbows, again to equip our militia and to sell. However, all of these convert your inhabitants to artisans. So these are guys who are only going to work at their skilled job rather than being part of your labour pool. So say I made this an armourer's workshop right now. This would go to 0 and we would have no unassigned families. So the next thing we need to do as soon as we hit spring, like so next month, is build a few more Burgage plots, get a few more families in, and then we'll have a go at making some of these guys artisans, as well as starting our stone collection industry and our iron gathering, so our iron mining. Let's get on with that. I'm just going to whiz time forward until we get there. Just to stop a minute, a bandit camp was sighted. Let's see where that is. Again, it's quite some way from us, so none of the bandit camps are very close, but we will have to deal with them because they keep stealing our stuff, which, you know, is obviously not ideal. So we've got 33 timber again. I'm going to turn the saw pit off. I don't feel like we need to have that much timber. The logging camp's now down to 25, so it's always worth keeping an eye on. As we grow, we will probably need another logging camp, but let's make some more Burgage plots ready here. It must be near the end of February. We can see the snow is melting, you know, so let's get started with this. So again, Burgage plots, residential, Burgage plot level 1, and then just drag those plots out. So I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to make this so it's a 2-person plot with quite a large rear area. So let's do that. And then I'm going to make some more plots along here. Some kind of standard ones. I like to have it looking a little ramshackle. I like that about this game, that you can do kind of what you like with those. So this larger plot on the end is going to accommodate 2 families on the same plot, and it's going to have like a vegetable patch in the back or something. We'll build that and see what it looks like. It's going to bring in some more people. It's important not to bring in too many people when you haven't got that much food. So we're down to 40 berries and 4 eggs. So we can see that these 2 Burgage plots that we made with the chicken coops have been pretty productive, actually. Well, in the scheme of things, so they have produced quite a fair number of eggs. Diversifies our food and things like that, you know, which is really quite handy. Are the berries growing yet? Nope, they're not. When they're growing, I'll show you how that looks like in case you don't know. We've just started in March, so they should be starting to grow pretty soon. Again, the guys are just delivering the stuff and then building up the plots. It should hopefully help us bring in some more people. Expand the labour pool a little bit. Hey, we've increased again. So let's go ahead and open up trade logistics for the next one. And then we're going to start trading at some point soon-ish. So we're ready to go with that. It's because we had 10 plots, so we are now a large village. See, the berries are growing now, so seasonal, and they're growing. The green up arrow denotes that that's going up. Makes sense, I think you'll agree. Let's go ahead and set up a stone industry, like a stone gathering. So to do that, we're going to go to our mining section. We're going to select the stonecutters camp. Let's just put that here. Remember, for the moment, it doesn't make any difference about noise and things like that. But as the game progresses, I'm sure I read that they're going to bring in noise and things like that. Like so noise pollution, you know, stuff like that, which is quite an interesting thing. Because really, who would want to live right next to a stone cutting place? I mean, not me. Our plots are getting built. We'll hopefully get some families moving in soon. And with our stone and planks that we have available, or we will have available, we're going to build the manor as well, which is something we need to look at. You can see we now have 31 regional wealth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to order us an oxen. So we're going to have 2 oxen when that comes. So livestock order placed. It's going to come to the small stable, and it cost us 25 regional wealth, taking us down to 11. Our Burgage plots are getting built here. The weather looks grim. It looks like it does here, actually. Raining. Here being the northeast of England, where it's always a bit rainy, or often anyway. The weather sucks. Just this large end plot to build now. Fritz, our ox, is working. Peter is following. That means he's on his way still. And we've got a new family moved in. Excellent. So more people are joining us. We finished this end plot, but remember it was a double plot, so let's make the expanded living space. Oh no, again, resources stolen. So let's have a look at the berry situation. So berries are full again, so lots of the berries there. Let's get a couple of guys in here harvesting. Build up our stocks. It should go pretty quickly. Meat's going up again as well. You see we've got a nice little village going on here. Like kind of in this little valley between the woods. The region's being claimed. I'm not going to go into that at the moment. So another ruler is claiming Zweinau. It's that one next door to us. I mean, I'm going to ignore that for the sake of this tutorial. But obviously when you're playing the game, you might want to challenge them for that. But not at the moment, because our militia consists of 20 men. So like it's best to steer well clear of that. Nice building that second plot. And there it is, done. We'll wait for some guys to move in. And then that's that. I was thinking I might as well fill this up with another house. Or 2 houses, depending on what it thinks we ought to have in here. So again, look, you can just drag this out however you like. So we're going to have 1 house with a fair-sized plot here, which is awesome. Another family's moved in. Excellent. So we are really starting to expand the village now. So someone's moved into here. And we've got 29 available. I'm just going to slow this down a moment. And let's plant ourselves a vegetable garden. Now, you see, we've got a fairly large little ploughed, well, field area, well, growing area, should we call it, and another growing area here. Now, if you consider this plot here, you're going to get far less growing. So probably only the equivalent of this. So this larger plot with 2 families on as well who are going to end up working this is going to produce more vegetables than this one. So that is something to bear in mind when building your plots if you are going to go down that route of growing vegetables in your burgage plots, which I would recommend because it's quite helpful to have that. So this end plot again will probably grow vegetables in here because that's going to be another large plot. These middle ones, maybe we're better off with chicken coops. And then we can start having some artisans in this area once we have something to make. Although actually we could start now and we could start making warbows. As you recall, that was one of the options. So let's try that. Okay, so I'm going to make this end one, this end burgage plot level 2, into a Fletcher shop. And that's going to take one of our working families away because they're going to become artisans. So let's do that. There we go. You see? He's gone. He's an artisan. He will not do any of the jobs around town. He will not be a stone cutter. He will not work in the saw pit. He won't do anything basically other than what we just asked him to do, which is make warbows. Warbows are handy. Not just for your troops, but because we can sell them. And that's going to make us regional wealth, which we can reinvest in other things. And like I say, I don't think the size of the plot matters at all for this. So there we are. Look, he's got his little Fletcher shop in the back. And he's going to make some warbows for us using planks. So that's something to bear in mind. So we want to make sure we don't run out of planks. We've got 26 at the moment. And we've got nobody to work in there. But remember, we've opened up all these plots. And that's awesome. So like, we can see the little guys here working on their burgage plot. So they are planting, you know, sowing, ploughing, whatever it is these guys are doing. They're getting it ready for planting their crops. The excess of which they will sell at the market. Food-wise, we're back up to 61 berries and 3 eggs. That's awesome. So we probably can get rid of one of these guys from in here. And what I will do, I'm going to put him in the sawmill. The saw pit, sorry, because we're now using some of that plank stuff that we've made. The generic storage is full, so that's related to this. Remember I was saying you can only have 28 timber. That's not a whole heap. There, look. So as they get these little field patches ready for growing, they'll go darker. So you can see they're darker than this one. They're all working in here. Look, so we've got 2 families in now, which is nice. Let's get this other one, this other spare family we've got working in our stone cutting place. So we're going to get some stone from this. You can look here, the military tab. So we've got 14 warbows already, so he's not messing around. What we can do is tell him how much of a reserve we want to leave. So he needs to leave this when he gets down to, let's say, 20. When he gets down to 20 planks available, I want him to stop making bows, because we don't just want unlimited number of bows. So we want 20 left as a production backup. But actually we've got loads again already. 63 planks. So let's take a look at trade. Trade is in the trade tab, funny enough. And what we need is a trading post. It's going to cost us 4 timber, which is not much. Let's put that trading post somewhere. Let's see, I've got some space for it here. Tell you what, let's put it down here on the kind of on the King's Highway. I think this was the main road running through. Let's make it highest construction. And while I'm at it, I know it's some way away from our kind of base area, but I'm going to put an iron mine out. So the mine can only go over this area that's highlighted, and let's do that. We'll just build that when it's ready. There's no huge rush for that. We've got 3 families available now, so that's good. The stonecutter storage is full.
Why do I have to carry this alone?
So the storage house must be struggling a little bit. So let's go ahead and get another worker into there, and let's actually upgrade this, because as we can see, it's almost at capacity. So we're going to upgrade that. Another clothing store is open. Can you see, because I gave an extra, I put an extra guy in here. So they've now finished getting these fields ready. Look, they've worked hard. It's quite a large little plot they've got going on there. We've now got 32 regional wealth. We need to connect that to the road. Let's do that. I think that's it connected now. And get one of our guys working in here. So To do this, we want to trade, and you have to pay to open up these things. So you have to pay to open the trade route and have a free trader coming to you. I think that's what they are, free traders, I want to say. But yeah, so we can trade all sorts of things here. At the moment, we could open this up for 5 regional wealth, or we could open up the planks trading for 6, and we could start selling planks if we really wanted to. We've got 29 of those. Crops, again, we can bring things in. So if we can't produce wheat, we can buy wheat, and we could sell, for example, helmets. So we could sell helmets if we can open the trade route up. But not available just yet. But plus we also haven't started making them yet. But warbows, we could, and we do have a surplus of those. However, before we do that, let's have a look at our military. Again, we've only got those 20 spear militia guys, which are equipped with spears and large shields, which is not amazing. So let's open this up. Let's create ourselves a little archer company. Other options would be polearm militia and footmen, like kind of just normal infantry who are armed with sidearms and shields. But we're going to do an archer militia. So they've split now, 13 in each. Remember before we only had 20, so now we've got 26, because 13 of these guys have taken up the bow and are now working as bowmen for us if we call them up. So again, let's go back to the trade. So now we've equipped some of our guys. Let's do this. Let's sell some of our warbows. So to do that, we're going to open up a trade route. After paying to establish a trade route, a dedicated free merchant will regularly visit your region to trade only in this specific type of good. So let's do this. Let's open this. Establish a trade route. It's going to cost 25. We're going to change this. You can have full trade, so you can kind of like import and export until you have the balance that you're after. Or you can export only. So I just want to sell these for the moment. So desired surplus. How many do you want to have in your in your region? So we're going to keep 5. So you can sell a bunch of them. Actually, let's keep 10. In fact, how many guys? You can have 36 in your unit. So we'll probably should keep enough to have 36. But we haven't got enough people for that anyway. So we'll adjust that as it goes. So periodically, a merchant will now appear and buy those bows. The storehouse is getting upgraded. It's July. Things are ticking over very nicely. We've got timber, planks. We've got plenty of stone. Let's take this off here. We've got a spare guy again, because I don't think we need more stone than that. We've got 78 stone. We've only got 10 tools. No wooden parts, no roof tiles, no blocks. Blocks, I don't think are used for anything just yet, but I'm sure they will be coming up. So it says these don't have access to any of these food stalls and things. I'm not sure if that's because they're just too far away from that, or what the deal is with that. Or do you literally have to connect these all up? Now, if you know the answer to that, please share it in the comments. I mean, I don't think you'll have to. Or maybe they're just too far away. I'm really not sure if they're too far away from the market. That seems a bit daft, because what's that? A 3-minute walk or so? Or is it simply because they're empty? Ah, yes, so this one's occupied. Right, okay, sorry, that was my mistake. So when a burgage plot is empty, these stay empty as well. So we can see there's nobody in them. So it doesn't tell us if they're upgradable. But this one is, so we could upgrade this to a level 2 burgage plot. So let's do that. Why not? This one as well. We might as well. Level 2 burgage plots don't cost you a lot of money. A lot of goods, sorry. And they bring in money, which is important. So we do now have 16 families living here. And you can see this is actually becoming a real nice little village, isn't it? They haven't built this yet, but it's miles away. So, I mean, I'm in no hurry exactly for this. Let's connect it up to the road, though. Also, once I start working, it'll take them a while to get everything moved away from there. This large end plot, I'm going to also pop in another vegetable patch. See how big it is again. Huge. Well, not huge. You can get much bigger than that, but huge compared to these little ones. Food-wise, we've got 111 berries. So again, like our guys are pretty much just eating blackberries. The sound of things, which is a pretty grim way to live, I would say. But, you know, it's alright. So the large storage house is finished. Looks much nicer. We've got 2 guys working in there. Got some warbows going on. I haven't noticed a trader coming, but I might well have missed that. Oh, there we go. So we just sold 25 worth of bows. That puts us up to 30. So if we really wanted to, we could start importing some stuff. What are we missing? So we're missing some food, I would say. Honey. What do you think our guys would like? Bread. Actually, we can't because it's 40. Eggs, we do have some. Vegetables. All these things that you could import and then give it out to your citizens. But let's leave it for now because I don't think... We've got 3 spare families, so let's put a dedicated worker into the stable. So we've always got somebody available to take our animals out and about. So we now have 2 animals, of course, the livestock. We've got Fritz and Peter. You can see our carrots have started to grow. Excellent.
Come along.
So we are starting to expand a little bit, and I'm going to make an extra logging camp. So that's how to keep your industry ticking over. You've got to keep an eye on your people and keep an eye on what's going on. So let's do that. A logging camp. Let's pop him out here. Connect them up. There, that kind of thing. You get the idea. So we've got the Fletcher going. We've got these Burgage pots here. I'm going to start making a few more chicken coops because I really like to have eggs flowing in. It's one of those things that I enjoy doing in this game. And just for comparison, I'll do a Burgage plot in here with carrots. So let's have a look. Okay, so yeah. So we're going to... You can see it's quite long, but it's obviously nowhere near as wide. And we're only getting a little patch like this. Except, of course... Oh no, somebody's moved in. I was going to say I built this somewhere where there's nobody available, but somebody's just moved in. Okay. I'm going to put some guys to work in the Forrester's hut now because we are cutting down quite a lot of trees and I want these replanted. So let's talk about the Forrester's hut for a moment. And I want to show you something here. So I'm going to go advanced. It's currently on unlimited work area, but I don't just want them planting trees willy-nilly everywhere. So I'm going to say limit the work area. Then it gives us a little thing here where we can get them to work. Now, if we hold down Control and use our scroll on the mouse, so down will make it smaller, up will make it larger. This is going to be their work area where I want them to plant the trees. And I want them to plant the trees up here where our timber industry is mostly. So let's do it here. There we go. And they should then limit themselves to planting trees here, which will mean they'll regrow and our guys will continue cutting them down. That's the theory. We've now got 45 families living here. 2 level 1 families, 13 level 2 families, which is awesome. The mine still hasn't been built. Or has it? Oh, yes, it has, actually. It has. So once we've got a spare person, I'm going to get them mining in here and we'll start getting some metal. Some iron ore, even. But in the meantime, I'm going to actually build our manor. So building the manor. If we can. Yes, we can. So it's going to cost us 5 timber, 20 planks, and 15 stone. Once we have the manor, I'm going to pop it here. Kind of central. Once we have the manor, we can look to build some walls, which is mostly cosmetic at the moment. Some towers, again, which is cosmetic, pretty much. But we will get access to a retinue. So these are like professional soldiers. Let's do that. So you can put this down and then you commit to it and they're going to build it there. That's our manor. So our manor, our village is finally going to have a manor and a manor lord ourselves. We're going to move in there. Let's connect this up to there. We'll have a couple of little roads leading out to the manor. There we go. Access to the market. And from there we can go straight down to the church. There we go, the manor is complete. Nice, so we've got a manor now. And we've opened up the policy menu, so we can now have hunting grounds, wild animals on rich deposits. We haven't got that, breed twice as fast. At the cost of 50% reduced yields from crops. So we could do that if we really wanted to, but we haven't got that. The other one's strict fasting. Citizens skip every 5th meal, reduces food consumption, decreases approval. I think that's okay. Let's go with that. The other ones are locked in early access, but we'll get some more bits and pieces opening up, I think. So we've got our manor now. You can see it's pretty basic. It's just a house, like a nice house, I guess. Slightly bigger than those, maybe, but still not amazing. So to make that better, we go into the open castle planner, and we can start constructing things like walls and castles. But we've run out of resources for that, so we'll get back to that in a moment. We'll have a look at it. We need some more planks. Got none. 130 berries, so again, we're just eating berries, which is it could be a crazy state of affair, I would say. So let's leave this second tutorial where it is. I hope it's been a little bit helpful. Let's have a little recap. So we've built the manor. We've had a little look at trading. We'll expand on trading in the next episode. We've expanded our storehouse. We've opened up the stone mining industry. We've opened up the iron mine. We've expanded our Burgage plots. They're nearly all level 2s. We've got plenty of money. We've got 100 in the bank now, which is going to help us for trading in the next episode. So we'll have a look at some of what we're lacking. You know, I was saying our guys are just eating berries and eggs, so maybe we want to bring something else in, some bread maybe for those guys. We're going to have an egg sandwich. And we'll have to expand the Burgage plots a bit. Our crops will be coming in soon as well. The vegetables that are growing, things like that. We've started constructing weapons, which we're selling and equipping our guys with. So we've now got a retinue of 5 professional soldiers. We've got 18 bowmen and 18 spear militia. So it's starting to shape up into a little army. So the next time we're going to look at trading. We're going to look at expanding the church. For that, we'll have to open up the clay industry. We're going to look at making some armor for our guys. So there's quite a lot going to be happening. A lot to cover. I hope you're going to join me for that, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If you found it useful, remember, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you'd like to see improved or done differently. What am I doing wrong? I mean, there's bound to be some things. I'm sure there is. There's kind of no right or wrong way to play this game. It's one of those games where everyone's going to have their own style. This is the way I like to play it, and we'll take it from there. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. I'll catch you later.